Growing up, I never imagined that I'd one day venture deep into the shadowy realms where the line between the living and the dead blurs. My story began on an ordinary day, seated at a modest roadside cafe in the Mekong Delta, listening to an old man's chilling tale that would change my life forever. Let me take you to the start. It was a lazy afternoon, and I was killing time when my ears caught a group of elderly men animatedly sharing ghostly anecdotes. Intrigued, I slid my chair closer, pretending to sip my iced coffee while hanging on to every word. One of them, a man with sun-weathered skin and piercing eyes, claimed to have spent decades as a shaman. He spoke of exorcising spirits and breaking curses in remote villages. Fascinated and skeptical, I asked him to share more. "Are you sure you want to hear this?" The man, who I'll call Uncle Tam, chuckled. "It's not for the faint-hearted." "I'm sure," I replied, curiosity overcoming caution. Uncle Tam began by recounting his younger days, wandering through the dense forests and uninhabited plains of the Delta, a region rich with folklore. After the war, he found himself adrift, unsure of his place in the world. By sheer coincidence, he crossed paths with an elderly hermit who offered him a chance to learn the ways of the spirits. "What did you say to him?" I asked, leaning forward. "I didn't say much," Uncle Tam admitted with a grin. "I was desperate. When you're lost, you take the hand that's offered." The hermit trained him rigorously, teaching him about herbs, incantations, and the fine balance between light and dark. They spent years delving into ancient texts and venturing deep into the jungles to collect rare ingredients for their rituals. Uncle Tam recounted how they would spend weeks camping under the dense canopy, hearing only the hum of the wild and the occasional whispers of unseen forces. One evening, while traveling with his master through an uninhabited stretch of marshland, night fell quicker than expected. With no nearby shelter, they stumbled upon an abandoned hut. The air inside was stale, but it provided a roof over their heads. As they prepared to rest, they noticed strange sounds, soft whispers and the rhythmic chopping of wood emanating from the back of the hut. "Do you hear that?" Tam asked, his voice barely audible. His master nodded, raising a hand to silence him. "Stay close," he murmured. Investigating cautiously, they found nothing but an eerie emptiness. Returning inside, Uncle Tam's master began muttering protective prayers, advising him to stay alert. That night, Tam's sleep was interrupted by a chilling sight, a grotesque figure pale and hunched, gnawing on what appeared to be human flesh in the moonlit kitchen. Its glowing eyes locked onto Tam, sending shivers down his spine. "Stay quiet," his master whispered, gripping an amulet tightly. The creature lunged, but his master sprang into action, chanting an incantation that immobilized the beast. Using a talisman and a blessed staff, he managed to banish the entity. By dawn, only a charred mark on the floor remained where the creature once stood. "What was that thing?" Tam asked breathlessly. "A shadow eater," his master replied grimly. "And it won't be the last we face." Their travels eventually brought them to a prosperous-looking village, where a desperate man pleaded for help. His young daughter had fallen gravely ill, exhibiting strange behavior, violent outbursts, guttural growls, and an aversion to daylight. The family had tried every remedy and ritual, but to no avail. "What happened to her?" Uncle Tam asked the father. "She was fine one day," the man said, wringing his hands. "Then she just changed. Please, you have to help her." Uncle Tam's master examined the girl and concluded she was under a powerful Khmer curse. To lift it, they required rare items: a black-feathered chicken's egg, sacred incense, and strands of the girl's hair. "This will not be easy," the master warned the family. "Are you prepared to face what comes next?" "We'll do anything," the father replied, tears streaming down his face. The ritual was grueling. As the master chanted, the girl convulsed violently, spewing dark bile and shrieking with unearthly voices. "Hold her still," Uncle Tam shouted, struggling to keep the girl from thrashing. Finally, after hours of relentless prayer, a dark shadow emerged from the girl's body, dissipating into the air. The girl collapsed but was freed. The grateful family showered them with thanks, but the master's somber expression hinted at a deeper concern. "Master, what troubles you?" Tam asked later. "The spirit was banished, but not destroyed," the master said. "It will find another host unless the curse's origin is dealt with." In his final tale, Uncle Tam spoke of a vengeful spirit that plagued an old plantation. A woman, wronged in life, had cursed the land, turning it barren and hostile. Tam and his master faced her wrath head-on, enduring bone-chilling winds and terrifying apparitions. The plantation, Uncle Tam explained, was a place soaked in misery. Its history was rife with tales of betrayal and violence, each story adding to the heavy aura of despair. She was relentless, Uncle Tam said, his voice trembling slightly. I thought we wouldn't make it. How did you stop her? I asked, hanging on to his every word. We performed a complex exorcism, he explained. Trapped her spirit in a consecrated urn. But it came at a cost. What cost? I pressed. The master never fully recovered, Uncle Tam said quietly. It was his last battle. He always warned me that meddling with spirits comes with a price, and I've seen it too often. Uncle Tam's stories left me speechless. As he finished, he looked me in the eye and said, "The spiritual world is not just folklore. It's real, and it's closer than you think. Always respect it." To this day, I can't shake the images his words painted in my mind. Whether you believe in spirits or not, one thing is certain: the Mekong Delta holds mysteries that defy explanation. The tales of Uncle Tam and his master are just one of the countless legends that echo through the region, whispers of the past blending with the present, inviting us to uncover their secrets. I still find myself revisiting those words whenever I encounter tales of the supernatural, feeling a strange mix of fear and awe. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Your support keeps these tales alive, and there's so much more to share. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.